everyone, this is Casey at BeBe Blythe Company. Today I wanted to make a video talking about the different parts of the Blythe doll. We had a comment on one of our videos to please explain what is the T-bar. And so I thought with my newest doll, the doll that I'm going to start working on next, that I would take her apart and we would talk about each of the parts as we do that. So this doll is a fake Blythe doll that I received from China. So she is a mold that is the easiest to customize, and on the back you'll find 3 screws. So there are other molds that are authentic Blythe dolls, and they're a little bit different on the back. But if you're going to use a fake Blythe doll or most of the recently made authentic dolls, this is what they'll look like. So you just want to take out the 3 screws, and I always put all the screws and tiny parts in a little plastic container while I'm working on the dolls so that I don't lose any of them. I don't know why it is whenever I make a video the screws won't come out. They always come out super easy when I'm just working on my own, but whenever I make a video the screws will not come out. It's very irritating. So I'm just going to leave them for now. So for the Blythe doll, you have her front or face plate is what that's called, and then this is the back plate. Then you have her pull string, which most people replace, and the body. So to open the doll, you want to push down on the sides of her face until they crack open, and then you're going to just pull her apart. Her body falls out. I normally replace my body, so I'll just set that aside. And I think what might be happening with this doll is I think that her hair is a little bit glued. So that's not super normal with the fake dolls, but it's usually not so bad, so we should be able to get it apart easily. The hair is called the scalp. So normally if you just pull on the scalp, the plastic will separate from the face plate. It is a little bit stuck on the back and the front. If it doesn't come apart right away as you're kind of pulling on it, you can wedge something in there and to sort of separate them. I showed you how to do this in the MIDI Blythe video. The hardest part is just to get a good grip and shove something in there. So I gotta get in a better position to do this. So I'm just gonna and you can cut it if you have to, but I prefer doing this because if you cut it, you have the potential to cut it unevenly, and then when you put it all back together, she can have a gap between her scalp and her face. It's best to try to avoid that if at all possible. So I just stick this end of this tweezer in here and I sort of twist back and forth, and it starts to come apart. As I said, so I'm having all kinds of problems today. Like I said, the screws wouldn't come out, the head's not coming off, and then my camera died as the batteries are dead. So we're using a different camera, and I want to try to get through this video so that I can start on this doll. So as I said, I'm trying to pry the scalp away from the face plate. It looks like it's apart in the front, so I'm not sure why it's not coming off. So we'll pry off the back part and see if we can get this doll open. Alright, the back plate's off. So now when you take it off, you will see that there is a screw in there, or a spring in there, and that needs to come out. That spring, you will save it if you plan to replace it and not put sleep eyes on your doll. If you want your doll to have sleep eyes, meaning her eyes stay closed before opening again, then you don't need this and you can get rid of it. So you have to remove it before you can get the parts separated. So once they're separated, I usually just cut the string because it's not needed, and I throw it out because I don't use it. So now we have our little screws that are still sticking in there, which for some reason won't come out, so I will mess with that later. So we're going to put, this is the back plate, we're going to put that aside and concentrate on the front. So I want to show you a close-up of what the inside looks like, because one of the things I always forget is which way to put the string back in the pull string. So you can see the knot is on the left side. That's the side where there's a little round nub. It's not the flat smooth side. So when you put your string in, you're going to want your knot on the left. Otherwise it's very difficult to change the eyes, and your string can break. You can break the mechanism by pulling too hard because it won't change, and lots of problems. So I have heard that not every doll it's the case, but for me it has been. So this is sort of a reference for myself and for everyone else. So at this point, you have a screw down there that's holding the scalp together, holding the scalp to the faceplate. So you gotta stick your screwdriver in there and get that out of there. And then your scalp should come free from your faceplate, just like that. So scalp I'm going to set aside for later. And now we have the faceplate. So looking at it, this large part is going to be the eye mechanism, and this white plastic is the T-bar, which was the question in the video or in the comments section. The T-bar is responsible for stopping the eyes from turning. There's a little mechanism here. So you do need to take that out when you're getting ready to customize your doll, because it holds the mechanism, the eye mechanism in. So that comes out. The other thing that might be part of the confusion is most people trim this T-bar down, because Blythe, just looking at her, her eyes sort of look straight and kind of down. And if you want her eyes to look up and a little more natural, then you have to shorten the T-bar, which we can go over in a different video when I put her back together, but this is the T-bar. So now we can get this spring off of here, because I won't be using it. And the scariest part, probably, of customizing the doll, well, there's two things that scare me. One is taking out the mechanism and taking this plastic piece off of its place. So I've gotten a little bit better at it. I have this little screwdriver that I use, and you're going to wedge it here in the corner and sort of pry it out. And it can be a little bit scary. After a while you get kind of used to the technique and it will come out much easier. Remember to put all your screws and your little T-bar together in one safe place. So now you have the faceplate. It's ready to be sanded and carved and customized. And now we have the eye mechanism. So this string can come out. Remember, again, the knot is going to be on that side, not the flat side. So that string can come out for now. Then we have the eyelashes, which sometimes pull out very easily, sometimes not. If they don't, you're just going to want to soak them in water, sometimes for a couple of days. Sometimes they still don't come out and you have to really work at it. So these don't feel like they're coming right out, so I probably will be soaking them. So now to take apart the last piece of this plastic bar has to come off of this piece, which is the part that I hate probably the most, because I haven't really figured out a good method for doing it without nearly damaging this. So I don't know if there's a better method, but what I do is I have my file and I sort of wedge it in there, pushing down and wedging at the same time, and I try to kind of just ease it off. Kind of help it with my fingers, whatever, to get it out of there. It always takes some prying. And there it goes. So once you get that part off of there, then you want to take the eyelids off, and you can look in the sides here. One of the little pieces is longer than the other, and so it's a little bit easier to get it off the short side, and I'll show you what I mean when I get it out. So this one is the short side, and you want to wedge another tool down in there and pull that off, and these are what I'm talking about, these little end pieces. One is shorter, one is longer, and it's easier to get off the short one. So now you have all your pieces taken apart and ready to customize. So to go over, this is the face plate, this is the back plate, this is your eye mechanism and your eyelids, and then we have the T-bar and the scalp, which looks like this on this type of doll, and of course your little screws. So that's about it for parts. If you have any questions or suggestions for videos, please let us know in the comments or on our Facebook page, BeBe Blythe Go. And thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.